What's up, guys? Peter from Panda here. Hey, I want to show you something. I've got two somethings here that I want to show you, and they're from Noble watches. We took a look at Noble watches. I was able to pick one up because I thought they looked great and got it here. And not only was it a great looking watch, but gosh, it was just built really well too. I'm often sucked in. I'm drawn in by the beauty of watches sometimes, and sometimes when I get a watch, I'm disappointed in it. But that one didn't disappoint. It was just really a nicely made watch and really creative. And so the cool guys at Noble sent me two watches here to take a look at. Now, I don't get to keep these, so let me be very clear. These are not my watches. They are just on short-term loan from the guys at Noble, but they are pretty cool. And this may take a little while. The boxes here are the standard Noble watches. As you can see here, nice packaging. But what's cool is that Noble is on Kickstarter right now, and they are building another line of watches. And so it's really cool to get their attention and for them to reach out and say, hey, Peter von Panda and the rest of the Panda Nation, we want you guys to take a peek at our new offering in terms of watches. And so I'm going to put a link in the description. You can go to the Kickstarter campaign. It already has some support. I believe the Panda code works through the Kickstarter campaign. We'll see if that's really true. But I just wanted to show you the watches because I haven't seen these, and no one has, because the only place you would have been able to see them is online on the Kickstarter campaign. So here they are, and what this watch is, or I should say the series of watch is called the Offset series. And I'm going to let you take a look at these watches here and take a guess at why they're called that. I'm going to just show you the dials on both of these watches. And it would probably strike you that they're called the Offset series because the dials are kind of offset. The way they're colored and stacked, obviously the two-tone effect is offset, offset from the center there. It's kind of like a 1/3 lighter color and 2/3 darker color, black and gray over here. And these watches are exactly the same physically in shape and style, but obviously two really, really different color combinations. First of all, on the back, you have a screw down back on both of these, so you'll need a tool to unscrew it. And then what I understand is they're double gasketed, so they should have pretty nice water resistance, 30 meters right there on both of them. And then what's pretty cool and really subtle is like it's kind of bead blasted in is their design here. And this one isn't Hollywood themed. This one is obviously jet themed. Like that's like a G5 or something on there. Little winglets on a dual nacelle like corporate or regional jet plane. Pretty cool. Noble Timepieces rise above Swiss movement here. And it's going to be a Swiss 763 Ronda movement. So it's going to be a quartz movement. And you can kind of guess that by the ticking of the second hand there. And the same here, a really subtle backside, like me, not like the Kardashians. And then on the front here, ticking second hand. Now, actually, this one isn't pushed in, so there we go. So you can see here, what's pretty cool is really simple, a simple minimalist design. I think I said that on the other one too, and I'm just really into that kind of thing right now. It's just, there's so many watches, and I have a bunch of watches that have tachymeters, that have GMT, dual time. You can make a watch face really busy, but in the end, you don't really use those things. And in this case, what's really cool is not only have they gone minimalist, but they've even scrapped the date window, which is kind of cool because I don't really look for dates on my wrist. But the other thing here is you can see at first glance, they look like they're round. And you can see the bezel here, which is polished on both of these, kind of on this gold and on this black. The bezel's polished. Flat crystal. And it's sapphire. So I can't really demonstrate that here, but it's a sapphire crystal. It's advertised to be a sapphire crystal. Flat crystal, but the cases on both of these are kind of a matte finish. Now, I can't tell you if these are how it's done. Maybe ion plating is my guess. Maybe PVD. But They're really nice. Everything is really nice and even. The machining on the cases is absolutely brilliant. I mean, there's no marks. There's nothing on this that suggests, cost cutting. And on this one too, just really nice. Obviously pre-production models. But if this is indicative of how the production pieces are going to be, I think you'll be really happy with it. Now they're really thin, 9 millimeters, as I kind of showed you there. Flat crystal is going to help that. So in terms of wearing this on your wrist, calfskin leather, and man, this leather, I can tell you, woo, it's supple. It's just soft. It feels like the seat of a Lexus, man. I mean, this is really nice. I'm just telling you, right? You can see kind of the grain there, and it's just a really nice feeling leather. I guess my point is I get a lot of watches, and sometimes the leather is so stiff, it is so uncomfortable, you really have to break it in. You almost want to wet it, but no problems here. Side stitching on the side, and it's color matched to the leather, both on the black and the brown. And, a retention strap here in leather too. The buckle on both of these is color and material matched to the cases. So you have consistency around there. And then look at the face here, man. I'll tell you, the dial isn't huge, but it's pretty big. 41 millimeters across. But you're probably saying, Pete, I'm going to just adjust this a little, center it just a little bit more here. You're probably saying, Pete, 41 millimeters? You said you have a pretty big wrist, and that doesn't seem like that bad to me. I mean, that doesn't seem like a small watch. Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a little secret. It's because it's this really subtle cushion shape of the case, in my opinion. And pull it off here and show it to you. There is just a little bit of cushion shape. It hugs the bezel pretty closely, and because of kind of the dark and the matte finish, kind of this bead blasted finish, it's not really blingy, so it doesn't scream out at you, but you can see it on my white background here. It is totally cushion shaped. Just really kind of nice. I have a Shinola Brakeman, and it kind of does this. If you like Panerais or watches like that, cushion is in. But not only the cushion shape making it unique, but it also has the offset name etched into the side right there. And it's cool because, one, it's one of those things that I like when you have these big open spots to use it. On their director model, they did the same thing, and they were using that side. Tag Heuers do it, a lot of people do it, but I like that, and they do it before the plating, it looks like. Or maybe it's after, I don't know. Maybe the finish that they use impregnates the metal. I'm not sure how they do it, but it's not a different color. It's not like carving into something with a lacquer finish and you get a real two-tone effect. It's actually pretty subtle. Because the lettering is really thin, you wouldn't be able to read it at a glance. It just looks like a little bit of design, and it's pretty cool. So Offset, which is the series of watch that they have. So now on the reverse side, you'll notice that the crown is not centered. It's actually at the 4 o'clock position. So what they've done here is this Ronda movement, which would normally have the crown out here, is tilted another 20 degrees or so, and it puts the crown down here. The cool thing is it kind of hides it in the corner of this cushion shape. So you do have a couple of little crown protectors here. They don't widen out the case as much as they would if it were up here. In fact, it only probably adds about half as much width to it, but you just pull it out. I don't think it's not a screw down crown. I can just spin it right there. You pull it out. There you go. Hacking seconds, the second hand stops, and I can adjust it. Let's go 10-10 and push back in, and the watch starts up again. The Noble, in their kind of cool Noble font, is on the side here. It's really subtle. It's obviously black on the black one. But then what's cool about this gold one is that the Noble is also in metallic color, as well as the hour markers. So they look like applied hour markers here in polished gold. The hands are polished gold. The name is, I'll be honest, the Panda here is not really a gold guy, but I would wear this watch. I would totally put this watch on, wear it around. I don't think I have any gold watches in my personal collection right now. And I don't even know if they call this a gold, but maybe they're calling it a rose gold. If it is, it's a really, really subtle rose gold. To me, and to the lighting I have here, it's like a little copperish. But this looks really, really good. And The cool thing about this offset is that with minimalist watches, with simple designs, it's sometimes hard to make them look modern and trendy. And what you have here is this kind of two-tone face, which adds a lot of distinctiveness to it. The other thing I want to show you about this two-tone is this doesn't appear to just be a painted dial. You know, it appears that what you actually have is kind of a sunk dial. So the lighter portion here looks like it's a full dial with this 2/3 window cut out. You can see where it sits a little above the dark portion of the dial, right? And the same on this black one. It's almost like it's a white dial with a black dial below it, and then the white dial is kind of punched out or cut out. And so you actually have a little bit of this 3D effect. It's not really noticeable here, and it's one of those things that in the pictures on the Kickstarter page you might miss, but you know, it's cool because you know, dials with sunk features are kind of rare, and this is like the biggest one I've ever seen, and it's pretty trippy. It's just another thing that it kind of makes more options for people that really like watches, that are looking for a unique style, to get something that isn't being done by a lot of the big watch companies or even a lot of the small companies. And so, you know, one of the things I'd encourage you to do is, like I said, support some of these companies that are kind of doing something that you can't find anywhere else, because they are, you know, giving us all really good options. Now, I've bought watches on Kickstarter, and I've shown you some of those on the channel here. You know, I've had really good luck with that. These watches, I believe, are about $139. Try the discount code. They might cut you a little break on those. But I think overall, you're getting a lot of watch. And what I will also say here is that at $100 you know, to find a good quality watch is tough. I know I've said that in the past, because there are a lot of watches out there at the $100 price point, and for small manufacturers to be able to manufacture that and provide it to you is just really tough. And what you end up getting a lot of times are watches with machining marks, really low tolerances, fake leather, etc., etc. And you know, my experiences with Noble have been really good, that you get a lot for your money. To be honest, I don't even know how I assume they're working other jobs, man, because I don't know how you make any money doing this. So anyway, just really cool. I'm putting a link down below. Check it out. Hopefully we will check out a lot more things from Noble Timepieces in the future. Peter von Panda with the Offset Watch series on Kickstarter from Noble. Out!